Why Not? A queer podcast.
Thank you to our sponsor, Pineapple Healthcare, an award-winning primary care clinic right here in Orlando.
Pineapple Healthcare offers mental health counseling, HIV, STI testing and treatment, and specializes in care for the LGBTQ plus community.
Open Monday through Saturday. Call today at 407-553-6336 and schedule your appointment.
Pineapple Healthcare. Better together.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rick Todd.
And I'm Jeremy Williams, and you're listening to Wine?
Why Not? A queer podcast.
Episode 140.
140?
Yeah. That's one more than 139.
That's like 100 more than what is it, Being Over the Hill?
Yeah, that's about 100 over the more than we thought we were going to be doing.
We've got that's 139 more than we thought we'd be doing.
It's good though. It's good. It gives us something to do.
We've got to be getting close to like people's ages in the Bible, right? So we can start talking about like, oh, who was
some of them? Yeah. I think Moses was like 200, so we've got a little bit to go that way. But
was he 120? Yeah. Caitlin says he was 120.
Oh, wait a minute. Did we do that one already? We might have already done the Moses age.
Sounds like AI starting to write these.
Yeah.
Good times. How's my camera level? Do you like it? I got a new stand.
Yeah, it's fine. It looks the same to me.
I need a little bit more excitement.
Oh my God! Did you get a new stand?
You're to lower it.
You're
I'm
so much better.
Make it eye level. It's a little higher.
I don't see. I have you kind of half screen, so I can have my notes up. So I don't think I'm seeing. Like when you were showing me papers earlier before we started filming, I couldn't see the whole thing because I think I got you half screen, so I'm only seeing a sliver of your screen.
When I was showing you my papers, are you working for ICE now? Are you practicing?
I found your papers.
You could apply there.
I could.
Can you imagine?
Trust me, the thought has crossed my mind. But me and Chris came up with a plan. I would work there undercover, and when no one was looking, I would open all the cell doors and let everyone out.
Or like say, "Oh, what neighborhood are we going to?" And then you would
and be like,
message people. We're going to
yeah.
Now I'm sure that obviously no one who works for ICE is listening to this podcast, so that you'll be able to get the job when you apply.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know if you heard, they made me the head of ICE yesterday.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Might as well. A Fox News anchor is the host of the War Department, and then a podcast host could be the head
That's
of
okay.
ICE.
They're not going to hire me. I couldn't even get hired on at Fox News, so there ain't no way ICE is hiring me.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah,
so
right.
140. 140.
Yeah.
Have we actually hit the number of days? Oh, you've been there more than 140 days.
Let's see. I'm at almost 4 months, so not quite.
Oh my gosh,
quite.
No, you're not there yet.
Not yet.
You're getting close.
June 17th was my last day there.
I almost just said, "Hey Google, how many days has it been since June 17th?" just to see. But anyway. Exciting stuff. You don't know this, but Ryan and I met with a podcasting dude. So, if you are currently the person who's hosting our site, don't listen to the next 15 seconds. No, not to do anything.
Looking for replacements, are you?
No, not for this podcast, but we're talking about doing different ones for Watermark that have different things.
I will say that I am not surprised at all that Ryan is on the podcast train now, because it wasn't too long ago that all he did was talk smack about anyone who even downloaded TikTok, and now that little bitch comes across my TikTok's feed at least twice a day.
So I just want the title of this podcast to be Ryan, that little bitch. I think he'll listen to this one then. He's
embraced
on board.
it.
He's on board with it because I told him it's happening.
Yeah.
He wants to. He had a good time when he co-hosted this, so he's game for it. But we're going to do different things. How we talked last week, I think I said at the end of it, hey, if you think we should interview people, let us know, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
That may not be smart for this podcast. It may be smarter for a different one.
You don't want me talking to people when I'm drunk.
No, I absolutely do. to be honest with you. Absolutely. I was reminded recently because there was an event. Oh, you know what I was reminded of? So I've got no secrets, so I'll just say all this. Like, you know, we were able to keep the entire staff on that during COVID, which was very difficult and very stressful for a while. But you know, the people who work here are I mean, that's my first priority, right? Is to make sure that the people who work here, who give their time to this company, are taken care of.
Well, I mean, they weren't kept. All of them weren't kept 100% of the time. Some were 99.999%.
Why you gotta be a bitch about it?
Sorry, I've been drinking.
Why you gotta? We've already called Ryan the little bitch, and now you're like breaking up bad memories for him. He's got one single tears falling down Ryan's face right now.
I don't teach you. Stay out of my podcast lane, Ryan.
36 hours, a hierarchy was created. Just for those listening, we did have to let people go, but we let them go on a Friday, and over the weekend, PPP funds came in,
Monday,
and everybody, so nobody missed even a minute of work. So there you go. But because we kept everybody employed, there's this like tax credit for all the payroll taxes that we're getting and everything, and so you know this, Jeremy, that we switched our payroll company to someone else because they were going to help us get this money, and it was a terrible decision. And I'm not going to say the name of this company, but if you want to privately reach out to me, I'll tell you who you should never use. But anyway, we just weren't getting the money, things weren't happening, and it all just kind of sucked. So I did a little bit of research, and I found out that people were getting pushed to the front of the line if they reached out to their local congressman. So I reached out to Maxwell Frost, who is our congressman for this area, and they really helped. In fact, I just got the last check that we're going to get today, and it's nice, so super helpful, and I loved it. But when it was all said, like when the notice came out that we were going to get all the funds, Maxwell Frost called me and said, thank you for reaching out. Because he said that most constituents don't know that you could reach out to your congressman for help for things like this, for tax issues and stuff like that. And so
not just tax issues, you can reach out to your congressman for anything. I couldn't get in my front door, so I called my congressman. He ran over with a spare key. He came in, he put a pot of coffee on before he left.
Was it your congressman
super
that
helpful.
Changed the light bulb when the water was coming through?
He actually sent someone from his office over because he was busy.
I was riding the car with Jed recently, and we were listening to that episode and laughing. So anyway, the reason that it reminded me of you, and I'm sorry I'm bringing this up in such a public format, but there was a moment because the Pride Chamber Gala just happened, and Maxwell Frost called me. Now, what do those two things have in common?
I sat next to Maxwell Frost at a gala.
Caitlin just got on, if you can hear her laughing.
Listen, I don't care. He's not my congressman anymore, so I'm not embarrassed at all by this because he can't do anything to help me.
You weren't embarrassed at all. You were drunk.
That's right. When he was my congressman, I wasn't embarrassed. I thought it was hilarious.
You thought it was the funniest thing you'd ever done in your life. You were in tears laughing.
Yeah.
Like you came around. And this is why I love it. You get drunk and you talk to anybody. So we'll just do a whole podcast of that. Forget the why not part. You just drink and talk. But you got up from the table, came around to me, and you were like laughing. You could barely get the words out that you had passed gas, and you were sitting right next to him, and he happened to notice it and like took his speech and started like going like this and looking around, and that made you laugh so hard you had to come over and tell me, which made me laugh so hard. It was hilarious.
And it was because he was like right behind me, and they were slotted, so it's like my ass was like, it wasn't blocked. It was just at a clear path to Maxwell, and it hit him, and his head went back and to the left, and it hit him back and to the left, and he fanned himself, and then he got up and left, and he forgot his speech on the table, and I was like, well, that's an important artifact for what him and I just went through together. So Jarek was next to him. Jarek, who's Senator Carlos Guillermo Smith's husband. I said, Jarek, can I have his speech? And so he leaned over and asked Carlos, and Carlos just shook his head and then took the speech and walked off to go give it back to Maxwell.
You didn't want that speech was tainted. You don't want that.
I wanted it to remember the occasion. But anyway, he's super nice because I would have been like, who farted? But he just very graciously fanned himself with his speech.
I would have said it from the stage.
Yeah.
And to
Thank you
sir,
for having
who
me.
farted
Who
on
over
me.
here farted? I'd be like, me, sorry.
Who did the fart? That's a Jeff Daniels line from Impractical Jokers that cracks me up every time I hear it. Anyway,
Nice.
good times.
Good times.
Maxwell Ross, amazing guy. Super
Yeah,
nice, super
amazing.
awesome. Great guy. All right, so 140. Let's just jump right into some
140.
facts. I got a text message. You know how that distracts
No,
me.
you play on your phone, and I'll throw out some facts.
Let's do it.
For those who are old school Twitter, you know that the character limit used to be 140 on Twitter. So
Yeah.
it's now double that, but it used to be 140. And when I was going through school at Valencia, taking journalism classes, our professor, the late great Ken Carpenter, had everybody sign up for Twitter because he said with a 140 character limit, it was an excellent way to work on your headline writing. So he would have us tweet out what stories we're working out, and you'd have to be very concise in 140 characters, and that would help us to basically break down the story into what the headline should be. So used to be a very helpful tool. Now it's just a cesspool.
I saw that came up, and when I was researching it, I always thought it was 144, but I guess it was
140. Yeah.
What do I know? Nothing.
Back to the music thing, for those who are fans of dubstep, dubstep is a form of electronic music, and it is sometimes referred to as 140 music because the vast majority of dubstep tracks use a tempo of 140 beats per minute. This I thought was interesting. In 2009, there was something called the 140 Project, which was a group of filmmakers that got together, connected filmmakers from around the globe. It was 140 filmmakers in 140 different locations who synchronized filming 140 seconds continuously with each other and then streaming it together into a film project. I have not seen this film, but it sounds very interesting.
You said 140 Project, and I thought, I can't wait until we get to episode 2025.
Remember
like,
Project 2025? From when our overlords took over the world? Praise the Trumps. Now
we
somebody's
going
to take that and
by the time we get to episode
he's going to crop that out.
2025.
Yeah. We won't be here for 2025. Oh, no, wait. We are in 2025. Episode 2025.
Episode 2025.
We won't be here by then.
I mean,
we'll be hauled off to our camps.
Yeah.
Ooh, do you think they'll let us do the podcast to keep morale up in the camps? I'm going to ask. And the last one I have.
Go into this car, please. We're taking you or your train's over here to go to this place. Oh, okay. Hey, just a quick question. Well,
I noticed this is train car 140. Do you know that Twitter used to be 140 characters?
I could regale people with these very interesting facts to keep morale up if you let us do our podcast.
It's important never to lose your humor, even in the hardest of times.
Yeah. I think it's important to point out that we don't think that whole situation is funny. But if we don't laugh,
although we do think it will happen.
I'm not convinced otherwise. So yeah. I was talking about this the other day to somebody. Testing the waters with Jimmy Kimmel. I mean, eventually, gay newspapers, I think, will be, unless the only way that we survive this is if somehow we take over the House and the Senate. But that doesn't mean that he won't just disband it. You know what I mean? And just say like, eh. But then maybe the generals will say, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. So let's find it. If we can make it one more year. Can you believe that we are still more than a year away from the next election?
Yeah, he hasn't even been in office a full year.
I know.
It's crazy.
It's insane.
Anyway, speaking of dystopian futures, my last one is the 140th Pokemon. That takes place during a dystopian future, right? I don't know anything about Pokemon. In a world decimated by nuclear war.
Look at that. There's another career opportunity for you. You could do movie voiceovers.
Pokemon 140. Kabuto, is a crab-like creature that molts every 3 days, making its shell harder and harder.
And harder.
And
That sounds like a lot of work and a lot of mess. I don't want that crab in my house.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing. Even though its shell gets harder and harder, apparently this species of Pokemon is almost entirely extinct. They must love their crab dip. And it's a fossil Pokemon, I'm told, which I don't know entirely what that means.
I'm sure it means something.
But good for you, Pokemon. Good for you.
She's showing me pictures of it as if that's going to answer the question of what the hell is a fossil Pokemon.
Oh, I forgot this one. I have one more. A shout out to the 140th New York Infantry Regiment, which are also known as the Rochester Racehorses. It was a military unit organized and drilled in Rochester, New York during the American Civil War, and they helped to destroy the South.
Hey, that's a shout out to all of our listeners from Rochester. Remember we had a huge faction of listeners from Rochester?
Buffalo. We were big in Buffalo, but that ain't far.
That's not.
I'm sure it overflowed into Rochester.
Also, none of those horses are gay, according to a friend of mine. Nothing's gay in Rochester.
Well, I'll have to take a visit and make it gay.
No, nothing from Rochester is gay. Lots of things infiltrate.
I'll change that.
So
what do you got?
So this is, I'm just going to say this because, last week, the Friends episode, the 139th was the one that could have been.
It's the part 2.
So it's one that could have been part 2. I do have this, though. 140 kilometers per hour is the common speed limit on German Autobahns.
I didn't think they had speed limits.
I didn't either, but AI is either lying or they added some. But maybe it said Autobahns, not like the Autobahn, because I think that is... Like there's one.
Do you know they have something similar in Italy and they call it the Autostrada?
Huh.
Yes.
And in California, they have one and they call it the Eric Estrada.
Well. And they have one in Florida and they call it I-4.
Am I the only one singing the Chips theme song?
Yeah, you're the only one old enough to remember it.
You didn't watch it?
No,
I didn't watch it. Okay.
I was like 3 when Chips came out.
Yeah, I didn't watch it when it first came out either.
I'm sorry. I was 9 when it went off the air.
No, I just mean the reruns. You don't watch reruns of shows?
Not of Chips, no. No, sorry.
Well, that's it. We're just not doing this podcast anymore.
I don't know her.
All right, so here we go. 140th greatest director of all time. I'll give you a couple of hints.
Sure.
We can breeze through it. I almost said the name. It's a British filmmaker known for social realist dramas, often developed through improvisation with actors. His most notable films include Oscar-nominated Secrets and Lies from 1996, the Cannes-winning Naked from 1993, Golden Lion winner Vera Drake in 2004. Nothing. Secrets and Lies is probably
Did Mike
the
Lee direct Secret and Lies?
Yeah.
Oh, it was Mike. Okay.
Shit. How do you know this
Mike
shit?
Lee. Because here's the funny thing. The reason that specifically that Mike Lee sticks out is because I got started watching the Oscars when I was like 10 years old, but the year Secrets and Lies was nominated, it was when English Patient and Fargo and everything was nominated. That was like the year that I got super invested in the Oscars. So like that is like the most memorable Oscars I have.
Huh. So 10 years old, he can watch, just so you keep the score. 10 years old, I watched the Oscars, but 8 years old, no Chips. Too young for Chips.
I didn't say too young. I said too cool for Chips. I was a cool 8-year-old.
Don't listen to him, Podge and John. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Although I did watch, my dad was a big Star Trek fan, so that one that Captain Kirk was on, TJ Hooker, I used to watch those.
I was in love with his partner.
Yeah, and from what I recall, he was quite...
Jr.?
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that who that was?
I think it was, yeah.
I could be wrong.
Heather Locklear was also on that show.
Yeah. She didn't do anything for me.
She did something for a lot of guys.
Yeah.
I
bet you know what that is.
Yes. Anyway,
I gotta say, I'm impressed with your ability to recall this information. I watch a ton of movies. I couldn't tell you who directed it. I mean, sure, I can tell you some of them. but not really. I was going to try and be cool and be like, oh, like I remember liking this movie, A Radio Flyer, and I know who directed that. And then I was like, I've already
Didn't
forgotten.
Ron Howard direct Radio Flyer?
No. It wasn't Ron Howard.
Oh.
No, it was somebody. I want to say it was Richard something.
Richard Linklater. Linklater?
Well, we don't have time for it now.
Linklater. Oh.
No.
That reminds me of a joke I heard on a TikTok earlier. It was a cook guy. He's like a skinny young Martin Short, and he does cooking videos, and he was making bourbon balls. And he was reading the recipe, and it said, add bourbon or any alcohol that you like. And he goes, well, you shouldn't call it bourbon balls then. You should call it liquor balls. And he just stared into the camera. Cracked me up.
That's funny. Richard Donner directed.
Lethal Weapon Richard Donner?
Is it?
Richard Donner, who did Superman?
Oh, he also
did Radio Flyer?
Did he do? Oh no, that was different. The War. Did you ever see The War? I'm in a dark hole now of like different things. That's such a good movie. Elijah Wood was like the best childhood actor.
He was. Macaulay Culkin got all the attention, but he was like consistently doing good work.
Remember that movie they did together?
Yeah.
The Good Son?
The Good Son, yeah.
Yeah, The Good
Son.
That was a creepy one.
It's a good movie.
That movie messed me up. Now whenever I'm driving on the highway and there's like an overpass, I'm looking up there to see if I see anybody.
Yeah. There was in the 80s and 90s, kids were throwing stuff over, and that's why a lot of them you see now have the those fences that curve.
Yeah.
Curve in towards it's because they can't throw stuff over them. Yeah.
All right, here we go. 140th greatest movie of all time.
Radio Flyer. War.
Ding, 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 ding. No. 1995 film directed by Jim Jarmusch.
Jim Jarmusch from
Sure.
1995?
Yes.
Is there any somewhat famous celebrities in it?
Yeah, there were. Johnny Depp, Gary Farmer, and Crispin Glover. Here's the synopsis. On the run after murdering a man, accountant William Blake encounters a strange Native American man named Nobody who prepares him for his journey into the spiritual world.
Is that Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas?
Nah.
Sounds like it.
It kind of there's a hint in the first sentence, on the run after murdering a man.
Murder on the run. Running from murder. Dead man running.
Just
dead man. Oh, okay.
Just Dead Man.
Dead Man Running, maybe not, but Dead Man Walking was a movie that came out that had Susan Sarandon and Sean Penn.
Yeah, and as I looked up facts about that movie, that popped up.
Oh, there you go.
Dead Man Walking.
That was a good movie, too.
Yes, and they also shout that out in The Green Mile. Another good movie.
Another good movie. You know
so many good movies.
You know who wrote The Green Mile?
Yes,
It's a Stephen King.
I almost said
book.
Steven Spielberg. Stephen King.
Do you know
I know who wrote it? Steven Spielberg.
I think it's Frank Darabont.
Yeah, the horror Arthur.
Frank Darabont directed it. He is also the creator of The Walking Dead. So there you go.
Huh. How about that?
Yeah. How about that?
How about
He
that
also
right there?
directed The Mist. Speaking of Stephen King, he directed The Mist. It's one of my
How was
favorite
your
Stephen
week?
King movies.
Do anything awesome?
My week.
Anything you want to talk about?
Okay, so two things happened that really pissed me off this week that I want to talk about, and then we'll get into the happy
You know what
things.
grinds my gears?
You know what really grinds my gears? Okay, so a couple
I
of
was on the
days
subway.
ago,
I didn't see one penis.
I didn't.
Now there's
didn't see-
three things.
I didn't see any penises. When I first got here, everyone flashed their penis on the subway. Now nobody does. Have I lost it? Am I not pretty anymore? So Chris pointed out a couple of days ago, because I was walking around barefoot, that all of my toenails are very long and jagged, and he said, you should really do something about that shit.
Oh, indoors.
Indoors, yeah.
I was like, Jesus, for a hypochondriac to walk around New York City barefoot? Are you crazy?
Listen, I would never walk around New York City barefoot, and I'm not even sure if I should tell this story, because it's not my story to tell, but I learned a very disturbing story that involved walking around barefoot in New York City. No, it was a celebrity. Oh my God. Should I tell it?
If
should
it's
I tell
true and we can't get in trouble, you should tell
Well,
it.
it's her. I was told, I wasn't there. I was told this story by a friend who used to work at the Apple store. There's a 24-hour Apple store here.
Huh.
You know that?
You never know where you're going to need an apple.
she worked overnight. And one of the things she said, a lot of celebrities go in there during the early morning hours because it's dead, so they don't get bombarded. And a certain celebrity walked in there to get something for their cell phone and came in barefoot. And she's like, he was just walking. Oh, I said he.
Oh no! Like who would be someone who would walk around barefoot?
Now I can't because
can I have three
I
guesses?
don't want to get us sued. But go ahead and guess.
I'm gonna guess, and then you don't do anything but laugh if I get it right.
Okay.
Okay. A celebrity in New York who would walk around barefoot.
Well, I don't know if they walk around barefoot all the time, but they happen to walk into this Apple store barefoot. I hope she doesn't listen to this and kill me.
Billy Porter.
She's like, why are you telling my stories?
I'm guessing Billy Porter.
No. Have you heard? I don't want to veer off too far from all these stories, but have you heard that Billy Porter, like, there's a lot of rumors coming out that he's like, they're like bringing hospice in and stuff for him.
Oh no.
He had sepsis.
Yeah, he did. He was so
and
sick.
that's why they had to cancel Cabaret early. And there's a lot of rumors going around that he's like not doing well. I know. Anyway, it wasn't him.
Okay. Well, we can't make fun of Billy Porter then.
Well, I mean, you could. It'll just make you a horrible person.
Who else could it be? How about the guy from Succession, Brian Cox?
No, but I could totally see him walking around barefoot in New York City.
I know. I'm trying to find people who I think might walk around barefoot. And then I mean, obviously, even whether this was him or not, Johnny Depp totally walks around barefoot.
Yeah. It is none of those. What
Frankie
I'm going to
Grande, I want him to walk around barefoot.
I will not tell you. I'll tell you off camera, but I will find out from my friend if it's okay for me next episode. Tune in next week. I'll find out if it's okay if I finish her story.
Throughout this whole thing, I'm just gonna shout out things like.
So anyway, back to the original story.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm walking around with my mangled feet, and Chris is like, "You need to clip your toenails; those are disgusting." So I said, "I will." So of course, after he says that, I broke one of my toenails. So I'm walking, and I stubbed my pinky toe, and it broke the toenail. So I go in the bathroom because it was like, it broke off, and I was like, oh, let me go ahead and clip my toenails. So I go to clip all my toenails, and I go to fix the jagged edge of the toenail that broke, and it didn't break. The entire toenail ripped off. And I'm just staring at my little pinky toe, and there's no toenail on it. And I'm just like, oh God, I thought I was going to pass out.
Oh my God. What if this happened while you were walking around barefoot in the city? And
I know,
your
right?
Toenails just hanging out there somewhere.
As Monica and Ross's mom would say, there's a toenail in my kitchen. I have more Friends references later in my week because something else Friends happened. So I'm walking around. I looked it up on Google, and it says, it's gone. You can't do anything about it. So it said to soak your foot in salt water because that'll help clean if there's any bacteria or anything, clean it out, and then just keep it dry. And so now it's cleaned out. It's fine. The pain has kind of mostly gone away because it bled a little bit. Freaked me out. But it's so weird because you don't realize how much you feel your toenail, like when you're putting your socks and your shoes on and your sock hits the toenails, it's just hitting bare nubby toe, and it just feels so fucking weird now.
Bare nubby toe is weird. Yeah.
It's
weird. I've lost toenails before.
So I was really pissed that I lost my toenail today or this week.
Did you put it under your pillow and like wake up with like $10 shoved under it? The toenail
No, is that a thing?
Come and visit you.
I threw it in my garbage can. Maybe I should check to see if there's $10 in there.
Just put the whole bag under there then.
The other thing that happened is I ordered my groceries from Amazon, as I normally do. I've been doing a weekly order. Last week when I ordered them, I think I talked about this, they delivered half of the order. So it was 3 bags. They delivered 2 of them. And then on the app, they said, we couldn't access your building, so we didn't deliver the 3rd one. They all came together. How were you able to access my door for the first 2 and not the 3rd one? So I called, we argued. They said, we're so sorry. We'll make sure it never happens again. Following week, I order my groceries, and I follow the little dot because you can follow on the map. He gets to my door. It says your groceries will be delivered within the next 5 minutes. And then 5 minutes goes by, and it says, we could not access your building. Nobody rang. Nobody called. Nobody buzzed anything. They just said, oops, couldn't find your building.
They don't call.
So I called up Amazon, And they kept shooting me all over the place. And then I landed at this girl because I guess Amazon Fresh, which is their groceries, has their own little call center. And she's like, I'm so sorry. I'll find out what happened. We'll get them re-delivered to you right away. She put me on hold for 30 minutes. She hangs up on me. Yeah, I was so I called back and this little old lady answered and she's like, hi, this is Amazon. Can I help you? And I said right off the bat, I was like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to yell at you right now. And you can't do anything to stop me because I'm so pissed right now. And I'm sorry, little old lady, I'm going to yell at you. So I told her what happened and she's like, that's too bad. We'll get your groceries sent out. I don't have a delivery date for 2 days. I was like, 2 days? If I go on the app and order them, it says they'll be here by 10 o'clock, which was like 2 hours from then. And she's like, well, I don't know what to tell you. I said, I'll tell you what you can do. You can cancel my groceries. So she canceled the order. I said, they're canceled? She said, yeah. I said, now cancel my grocery subscription because I had the grocery subscription. So she's like, okay. So she canceled. I was like, is that done? And she's like, yeah. I was like, now I want you to go on your regular Amazon. And I have 2 pending orders that are coming out in a few days. Cancel both of those too. So she canceled both of those. And I was like, you don't seem it. And I was just irritated. I was like, you don't seem at all bothered that I'm canceling all these things. You're just like, whatever. I was like, you have horrible customer service. So I want you just to cancel my entire Amazon Prime account because I'm done. And she's like, I can't do that. I was like, you can't do that. And she's like, I am only working within Amazon Fresh parameters. I don't work for all of Amazon. And I was like, what a stupid fucking billion-dollar company you are. And then I said, fine. So I said, I'll go on the app and I'll cancel it myself. So I pulled up the app and I stared at it. And I was like, fuck you, Amazon. I couldn't do it. I couldn't break up with her.
Jeez.
So I still have Amazon.
Jeremy's like, this poor woman. And then he's like, now I want you to draw a bath. And I want you to grab your toaster oven. I want you to get into the bath, plug in the toaster oven, and go fuck yourself.
Anyway, I didn't get my groceries, and I'm still a member of Amazon Prime.
Well,
So.
I mean, canceling Amazon Prime is a commitment. But may I offer this to you?
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried Kroger.com?
They do not deliver in the city.
Oh.
Because I also tried Walmart grocery because they're also as cheap as Amazon. And even though there is a Walmart 2 miles from me across in New Jersey, they will not come into New York City to deliver because they're legally not allowed to.
Maybe that's why Amazon can't get into your building because they're too busy getting arrested for murdering Walmart people.
So I went to one of the local grocery stores here, bought the exact same items that I had ordered on Amazon. On Amazon, it was $24. And out here in the city, it cost me almost $50. So Oof. I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick with Amazon.
So now you're going to sign back up for, use a different account though, and get like whatever discounts they have. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I'm going to, whenever I see them getting closer, I'm just going to go stand out front of the building and just wave them down.
Do you think they're just taking your groceries? Because sometimes we order food, like it's late, we'll order ice cream from Dairy Queen, or it happens a lot with DoorDash and Chipotle orders, and that they'll get picked up and they'll just never show up.
Yeah,
I think people are just like, hey, I'm gonna be a delivery driver for 5 minutes so that I could
just get some free food.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, they
got some
exciting.
Good groceries. But
other than destroying this woman's life, what was your week?
Other than that, my friend Alex came into town. She came to visit for a few days because it was her birthday, and she used to live in New York City. But before that, she lived in Orlando. I met her many years ago when I worked at Express Scripts. Her, me, and my friend Melissa, we all worked together and would hang out. And then she moved back to New York, and then moved back to Orlando like a month before I was moving up to New York. So we basically just swapped places. But her birthday came up, so she came up to New York to visit, and her friend took her to see Death Becomes Her. And I am still unemployed, so I was like, not this time. No Broadway tickets for me. But she loved it. She said it was a great show. So it's still on my must-see list.
How long are they doing it? How long is Megan Hilty doing it?
As far as I know, they're doing it through the end of the year.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll take you to see it. It's always on TDF. I get $60 tickets. So when I'm up there, we'll go see it.
Okay. Sweet.
We'll have to figure it out, though, because, we're coming up there. I'm coming up there next month. We're having we're doing Thanksgiving in New Paltz.
Oh, nice.
With Dylan's aunt and uncle. And then we're going to go up for his birthday in December. And I don't really know what that's going to look like. Maybe he'll like want to hang out with, because a bunch of his friends are going. So, you know, maybe he'll want to do something with his friends one night. And then maybe that night you and I will go. But we'll see. If not then I'm probably coming back in January. I swear I should just get an apartment there. Just so I have some place to stay every time I go. So we will, but we'll try to do it before the end of the year so that you can see Make It Hilty. But it's only $60 with this.
I should just go apply for the lottery, because the lottery tickets are only $45 for Death Becomes Her. So I just need to sign up for the lottery and see if I get picked.
Come on. What are you waiting on? You live there.
I've been trying to find a job.
Yeah,
but
like when's the lottery? The lottery is like 2 hours before or 4 hours before the show, maybe. Like it's going to be sometime.
I don't know the deets.
Probably between 4 and 6 is when they do the lottery. So go do the lottery every day. You know, I used to do that with.
You know what? I'll go. Oh, not today. I was going to say I'll go do it after this, but it's Monday. There's no shows.
Yeah, they're dark today.
Tomorrow.
You might as well go every day, and then we don't have to worry about.
Work-wise, I have been hired at Macy's. I will be doing seasonal work at Macy's.
Shut the fuck up. You're going to be doing Uggs?
Ugg boots.
No.
And she called. Yes. Me and Chris, we were walking on the High Line. It was for some reason, every like other week or something, I wake up like at 4 a.m. Chris wakes up at 4 a.m. and we're like, well, we're wide awake. Let's go walk the High Line. So we go walk the High Line. And while we were walking it, Stephanie at Uggs called me. And she's like, we want you to come work for us because we love your personality. Now we're looking for people in the front of the house and the back of the house. Which one do you think you want to work? And I said, Stephanie, I haven't worked in over 3 months. I will work anywhere you tell me to work. And she says, well, you can pick. And I said, put me at the front of the house. I think I'm quite personable. And she says, I agree. So the way that it works, like all the different brands hire their own people, and then they're kind of watched by Macy's. So Macy's is like the day-to-day manager. So Stephanie works for Uggs. She's the one who offered me the hire. So Macy's will be calling me this week to set up my onboarding.
Congratulations.
And then
that's awesome.
The nice thing is, I won't say what the hourly rate is, but it's not bad. But also you make commission on every set of boots you sell. So I looked up their website, and these fucking things are like $200, $300, up to $600 a pair. And I'm like, shit. And it's going to be winter, and it's going to be Christmas, holiday season. So people are going to need boots. So I am going to be shilling boots for Uggs at Macy's over the holiday. So if you're in town, if you're here for the Macy's Day Thanksgiving parade, I'll be right in that building. Come on in. I'll get you a pair of Uggs.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. And in it's only seasonal for now. And then on the other side of January, we'll see who else.
How many hours? Do you know how many hours you're going to get?
It's part-time, but she said that it's basically they have overtime hours and let people work as much as they want to work.
Yeah, I imagine for seasonal work, during the holidays there, it's like they're just saying part-time so they don't have to give you benefits.
Yeah.
They'll work you whatever you want.
I have VA benefits. I don't need their benefits.
Yeah, perfect. That's awesome.
But yeah, so Chris because I told Chris, and he's like, have you ever been in that Macy's during the holidays? He goes, it's a madhouse.
Yeah.
So.
But it's cool. I mean, it's iconic, working at Macy's in the holidays.
So because they do the little Broadway shows outside of Macy's.
Street.
I am. I already look like Santa, so. But anyway.
Every time somebody goes to try on a pair of Uggs, just have them sit on your lap.
Sit right here. So Alex came into town. Alex, she's also the one who worked at Apple, who helped the Barefoot Celebrity. She, I'm going to give her entire life away. She can't eat gluten because of a health condition she has. So we were on a mission to find the best gluten-free donut, which is an oxymoron to me because if you ain't got gluten, you ain't a good donut. But there is a place here. I took it over to Amy's Breads, which we talked about a couple of episodes ago, who's really good friends with the whole barefoot contestant. There's the barefoot again. She probably goes to Apple in the middle of the night with no shoes on. And we went to Amy's Bread, and they had it was decent. They had a really good olive oil cake that I tried that was really good, but it wasn't gluten-free. But she wasn't a fan of the gluten-free options they had there. But there's a place called the Posh Pop Bake Shop that has a gluten-free Boston cream pie donut that was amazing. It was just the best Boston cream pie she has ever had in her life. So if
Well, when
next
you
time
take
you're
the gluten out, that bar's pretty low.
Yeah, true.
Just kidding, Alex. Just kidding. You and your made-up disease can eat whatever you want. I'm kidding.
Now she'll never tell you who the celebrity was.
I know. And now you're gonna she's gonna listen to this because she's gonna be like, "Oh, this is the podcast I visited.
I'm on there." About me. And then she's gonna hear it and she's gonna call me and she'll be like, "He's an asshole."
Who's that asshole who said that it's a made up? I'll have you know.
I hope he chokes on the next gluten he eats.
I hope he gets celiac. Now, I know plenty of people with gluten allergies, so I get it.
Another crazy thing that happened. So I was hanging out with Alex. She took me to some of her old stomping grounds. I met she introduced me to people at Apple who used to work at Apple. So I think I'm getting another job at Apple too, do like 2 part-times. But she also hooked me up with this one girl who she worked with at Apple, who now works for a company that does marketing campaigns, and the pay is very good. So I'm going to be meeting with them as well. And after the holidays, I might start working there for some of that big New York financial money. And then I can move out of this slum that I live in. So I left that. We hung out, and then I was leaving Alex, and I got off the subway, and I was walking to my apartment. I was walking up 51st, and I heard this guy screaming. And from probably about maybe 100 yards up ahead, he's just screaming as this big guy, and he's walking with his arms out, like stretched out, taking up the whole sidewalk. And he was screaming at the top of his lungs, "Respectfully, get out of my way. Respectfully, get out of my way." Just yelling it to everyone on the sidewalk. So as he approached me, he's carrying a metal pipe. And I was like, oh shit, I better get out of his way very respectfully, lest he hit me with his pipe. So he just walked right by me, all bowed up like that, screaming and just walking down respectfully. But I had just passed 8th. So 51st and 8th, when you start getting into like where the theaters are and like the heavy touristy areas. And I was like, there are going to be so many people who won't be able to get out of his way respectfully. Yeah. And I don't know what's going to happen.
Respectfully, sir, they can't move.
Yeah. So I didn't want to have to be interviewed by cops. So I took off before he started swinging.
I was in Times Square in April when somebody was telling me they were going to kill me and they wanted my my Crocs. And they said, "You got nice things," as if Crocs were nice things. And he said, he says, "I lent you those Crocs, give them back." And he was like, "I'm going to kill you." And I was like, okay.
I mean, in his defense, if he lent them to you, give them back.
Yeah, but like, he doesn't even have Crocs. How's he going to kill me?
That's true. Oh my God. If they're threatening to kill you over Crocs, imagine what they're going to do to the people I sell Uggs to. Those things are expensive.
I'm going to say, the next time somebody says, "Give me your Crocs or I'll kill you," I'm going to point and say, "Well, she's got Uggs."
Yeah. Say, if you go to Macy's, my friend Jeremy has some
really
nice Uggs. He'll hook you up.
He let me these.
And then the last thing, we're going to talk about a movie we saw this week. So it just opened in Orlando, but it opened 2 weeks here in New York. And apparently it didn't do too well because it was only in one theater in Manhattan this week. And it was the Angelica down in like the East Village, I think is the area. Yeah. It's over by NYU and all that. Do you know where I know the Angelica from? It's probably from where you know it from.
Is that where you get like a handy while you're watching a movie?
No, but I should have gone into that theater. No, in Friends, when Ross stays married to Rachel and he tells Phoebe, and the next episode, Rachel and Ross are getting ready to go to the movies and they're going to go to the Angelica. So she gets in the cab and Phoebe's like, "The Angelica, go!" And she hits the cab and they take off. And I was like, oh, this is the theater they were going to.
Nice. How was it? The Angelica.
Okay, so I'm sorry, Chris is belly crawling across the floor right now to go to the bathroom. He didn't want to be seen on camera. And he
You
was
need to get
distracting.
you need a camera. Oh no, that wouldn't be good. I was like, you need a camera down there, and I was like, ugh, no, never mind.
I want to get like a green backdrop, like a shower curtain thingy, like a green curtain, so I can do whatever background I want, and then he can go behind the background when he needs to go to the bathroom.
Hey, I'm sending this podcast to that new team and to see, and they said they're going to jazz it up. Maybe they'll throw a little background there. Maybe they'll put you in Macy's with some Uggs.
Maybe they'll make copies of Chris and they'll put like 40 Chris's behind me.
Every Chris that's had a cameo will show up, including the one where just his fuzzy head was going along.
Anyway, so the Angelica, which is interesting because it's the first. I've been to a couple of different theaters here. This is the first when you go in and the box office and the refreshments are all on the first floor, and then you have to take stairs into the basement, and all the screens are in the basement, which I thought was kind of cool. But it's obviously a very old theater. Old because they mentioned it on Friends, which was more than 20 years ago, but also because they're all very narrow, long theaters. So I did not know that they were very narrow and long. So I got a seat about towards the back of the theater because I was going to be making notes for the film. So I didn't want to like be distracting. So I got in the back of the film, and seriously, I felt like I was watching a movie that was miles away. It was so long.
You can see his hand. Oh, you can see his hand on the door frame.
Just go. They can see you. Go.
All we saw was a hand. Oh, yeah. That's funny.
But the interesting is, so you go in the theater, and you know how when you go into normal theater, it's just like these long rows of seats.
Yeah.
In this theater, and this was a couple because they had all the doors open. All the theaters, at least in this row, are the same way. It was like an airplane. It's like 4 seats on one side, 4 seats on the other, and like
it's like
31 rows.
Burns Court Cinema in in Sarasota. You ever go to that? They did that fabulous independent film festival that we sponsored, and we've been there. It's like that. It's a long shot.
Very long and narrow. So I was worried I wasn't going to get to see the whole film because it was so far away. But I think I made out, like, there's a couple of parts there where they read notes. Could not read the notes because he was so far away. But yeah, so other than that, it was a good theater. You know, they have coffee, which is a rarity now. A lot of theaters used to have coffee, and I rarely find a theater that has coffee. Regal's used to have Starbucks coffees, and they don't have it anymore. AMC's don't have coffee anymore. Very disturbing. But the Angelica serves coffee, so I really dug that.
Well, fuck AMC. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
Indeed.
You know, I don't think it's that the movie is so old that, I mean, I don't know. Is it so old? It just came to Orlando.
It just came out. It just didn't do very well in its opening week.
It only played one show a day in Orlando, even though it just came out. But then it was on the weekends, but I had stuff to do on the weekends. So I had to leave work at noon one day. I was like, Dylan, we're going to the movies. This is my job now. Because it was the only time that we could see it.
Yeah. I will say that they did have several. I mean, it was showing all day. They had like 5 or 6 showings. But it was the only theater here. And the week before, which was opening week, it was the AMC's had it, the Regals had, everybody had it. So I think it just didn't do very well, maybe. But I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
Is that it?
But it's
that was your week?
It's a movie. It's a movie. The one that did The Substance. So they're a streaming service. So I think it's just they put it out there for a few weeks to put it up for award contention, and then it'll be on their streaming service probably. But yeah, let's see.
They could have saved some money. Anyway, just kidding.
Ugg boots we talked about. Angelic we talked about. Oh, the other thing, Chris has a new assignment, so he'll be leaving next week. At Cooperstown, which is about 3 hours upstate New York. So I will have my own apartment here.
Oh my God, we could be so loud.
13 weeks. I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs. So that was my week. Not bad. Not a bad week. Other
Something's
than my toenail got ripped off.
Is that the Baseball Hall of Fame?
It's where Cooper is. It's his town.
Where's the
Cooperstown.
baseball Hall of Fame? I think it's Cooperstown.
Isn't that in Ohio?
Oh, that's the rock and roll. Isn't that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
Oh, I knew there was a Hall of Fame in Ohio.
So
somewhere.
it's in Cooperstown, right? Cooperstown, New York is the baseball Hall of Fame. Look at me
Oh.
knowing that.
Oh, he wanted me to go up there a few days with him when he gets settled in. Maybe I'll go up there and check out the Baseball Hall of Fame.
It's $30 according to Caitlin. So
I probably won't go to the
save
Baseball
some of
Hall
that
of Fame.
Save some of that UGG money. Cool. Well,
How was your
week? My week was a lot going on. I shall say. The first thing I did Tuesday, right after we recorded the podcast, I went to the Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center to see The Wiz. I will say this: I didn't really want to go, but I wanted to because I was like another version of the Wizard of Oz, where I could hear. I was like, I hope nobody's like, oh. So anyway.
Have you never seen The Wiz?
I had never seen The Wiz.
Really?
I know it's based off of The Wizard of Oz. It's just a different telling of it. And I just got to say, hey, you had seen it?
Yeah, I've seen the movie.
Was it good?
I love the movie.
Really?
Brand new day.
But you must have been 4 years old when that came out.
That was designed for children. I like how you want to take these CBS shows designed for 7-year-old women and to be shocked that I don't watch them. Chips came on when Matlock
Well, when
did.
you are a 70-year-old woman and you want to talk about all this shit, you find someone else. The Wiz is incredible. It is so good. I just want to say, I haven't seen the movie. I don't know that I'll go back because, I don't know if it's going to hold up over time. But I just want to say that the actors are incredible. So I'm going to give them a shout out real quick.
Sure.
Dana Simone, I'm going to guess is how you say her
Love
last name.
her.
Is Dorothy. Alan Mingo Jr. is the Wiz.
Awesome.
Kyla Jade is Aunt M and Evelyn. Hilarious, great, wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Kilgore was the Lion. D. Jerome is the Tin Man.
Wait. Michael Kilgore's in it? He once laid out fresh linens for me.
Shut the front door. Shut up about that. MYKAL. So it could be McCall, but I think it's Michael Kilgore.
McCall.
But the best cast member to me was Elijah Ahmad Lewis as the Scarecrow.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. The choreography was incredible.
Do you know who plays the Scarecrow in the movie?
I do.
Michael Jackson.
Because I've seen MJ, and they talk about it.
Oh, well, there you go.
They want me to do a movie. That's my impression. Did it go?
He was actually really good in it.
Oh yeah,
I really dug him in it. Yeah, he's really. It's because it's when he's younger. It's before like all the big fame, like the 80s and 90s, like big fame hit Michael. He's really. It's a cute movie. It's really. And if you don't think it holds up because it's older, they did NBC did one of the live theater things of The Wiz, and Queen Latifah's in that one. She plays Evelyn.
Oh, I should watch it.
Oh,
I should watch it.
She plays one of the witches. I don't remember which one. I think it was Evelyn.
But that as soon as like the whole thing about the house, like everything was funny. Like it's just it was incredible. I really highly recommend that people go see it. It's in Miami until the 12th, and then it gets to the Straz in Tampa.
You gonna go see it again?
The 14th to the 19th. Perhaps. That's a Tuesday. I don't think it's a press Tuesday. It is not a press Tuesday. So I did tell Dylan I think he'd really like it, and it may be worth like driving over there to see it and coming back. So maybe. But we'll see. The house is supposed to close on the 14th. Isn't that exciting?
Oh, okay. That is
finally. Exciting. And we've been cleared to close, so that's cool. So that's another thing we did this weekend is we got the U-Haul. We went out there and we packed everything up and left. And it was kind of a weird moment. Like I'd be honest.
This used to be my playground.
As excited as I am to not be driving back and forth 4 times a week or 3 times a week or whatever it was. It was sad to see, and it was sort of this moment, like Jen went to her car and sat in her car. And so Dylan and I just had like a moment in there in this empty house. And we went back in the backyard and sat in the pergola swing and hammocks that we built and just kind of looked at everything. And we're having this moment of, it was really nice building this house with you. And, we made so many great changes to it and all this stuff. And then, it's like, okay, well, let's leave for the last time. And of course, this, as we're leaving, I was reminded why I was leaving, and I was not sad anymore. I'm not going to say what those things were until after the paperwork is signed. But there are definitely, I think it's great. Great. But it's sad. I mean, it's really sad for Dylan. Because
even if you're not a huge, like, if you're leaving a place that you're like, it was a bunch of headaches. I think there's a part of you that is always kind of like, well, Chris, every once in a while, he'll ask me, he goes, do you miss Florida? And I'll be like, you know what? No, I don't. Because sometimes it doesn't apply.
Even when you break up with somebody and it's a terrible relationship, there's still a little mourning that something died.
Oh, speaking of which, I missed that on my week. Guess who called me last week? Gary.
Oh, hi,
out
Gary.
of the blue. Him and his partner, who I think will be getting married someday. I think I made it uncomfortable because I asked him, I was like, are you married yet? You've been together for like 10 years. And I heard his boyfriend partner, who was, because I was on speakerphone, he goes, not yet. I was like, well, get on it, bro. But they're moving to Ohio.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Isn't that where you used to, one of your old stomping grounds?
I was born there.
Oh, well, there you go. They're going to the Rick Todd birthing grounds.
But I wasn't old enough to play there. I was only old enough to watch CBS shows.
Well.
When we left. I left when I was 2.
will make sure that he looks for the Rick Todd official Chips viewing center.
Was that even CBS?
Actually, I think it was ABC.
All right, so that was Tuesday. Wednesday was my 10-year anniversary.
Congratulations! Sober. I did see on Facebook. I forget why I'm never on Facebook, and for some reason I logged onto Facebook, and that was the first post I saw.
Posts like that dominate Facebook. You could probably for like a week it'll be up there because eventually people will like it more and more. So that was cool. I went and got my little 10-year chip, which was nice.
What's it look like?
Like all the other ones, just has an X. It's just like
I thought maybe you'd get one of those new Donald Trump quarters as your 10-year. Those things are cool.
I think I will. Yeah, no offense. The only thing that I will use if Donald Trump's face is on money and I have to buy things, all I'm going to use that for is either to buy gay porn or Tylenol. And that's the only thing that I'll use those for. Or if when there's something like they were going to put Charlie Kirk's face on money or something. I think I saw something about that. And I was like, if that's the case, samesies.
You know what I would do? I would buy one of those crank machines where they flatten and crush money. And I would crush all the Donald Trump quarters.
and have a diversity flag imprint on them.
And then hand them out at pride festivals to half-naked trans children.
This is how I buy the ultimate in grooming. I give you gold if you claim you're queer. So anyway, that was fun. We went out to dinner. It was a nice dinner to my mom and my brother and all that. The fun thing that we did when we were there, Dylan had left to go back to St. Pete by the time that we started doing this. But I told him all, I was like, I'm on my 8th step, which is where you have to write out all the terrible things that you've done to people and then make amends. And I was like, who I have to call? I have to do this, right? And I started talking about some of my exes, and my mom was like, you will not apologize to him for anything. And I was like, it's okay, Mom. It's okay.
It's one of the steps, Mom. I got to do it. Gosh.
But the thing about it is it's not no matter how wronged you feel by somebody, it's not about that. It's about how you reacted to it and acknowledging that I understand that I reacted poorly to this situation and I should have been a better person. That's all it is, and I get it. It still doesn't mean it's going to be easy. So anyway, that was that. And then on Friday, I did something super exciting. If you don't miss Florida, maybe this will make you miss it just a wee little bit. Kay and I went. By the way, if you're just listening to that and not watching, that was Jeremy kissing his bottle of wine.
I wasn't kissing it. I was licking the final drip.
Kay and I went to the media preview for the 16th Swan and Dolphin Food and Wine Classic.
Oh, that's a good event.
It is a good event.
Good food.
I like them because they still email us.
They still
even
call
though
you.
you're gone. Not like that rat. Kidding.
Speaking of which, Alex messaged me and he goes, "Hey, there's an Epcot event coming up. You want to go to it?" And I said, "I don't live there anymore." I'm just kidding. He didn't call me.
Oh,
I can see the rage in your eyes.
No, I was just like, no, what you do is you say yes, but here's who's going to go. So anyway, I want to point out some things. I'm going to talk about just real quick because I
Sure.
said that I would. This is what gets me my ticket in the door. So this is the work part of it all. But I'm going to tell you what, as you will remember from this is the best food and wine festival, hands down.
It is delicious,
that I've
yes.
ever been to. Out of the two no, I'm just kidding. I've been to several, but this is amazing. So anyway, this is going to be, it takes place Friday, November 14th and Saturday, November 15th from 5 to 9. This is at the Swan and Dolphin hotel in the Disney area. They have 49 food dishes and over 100 beverages. Getting in the door, you get unlimited food and wine. So here's the thing. It's cheaper. Even if you're an annual pass holder. If you're an annual pass holder and you go to Epcot's Food and Wine Festival, you will spend more than the cost of this ticket while you're there. So let me rephrase that. I spend more than the cost of this ticket to go because, you know, you got to, but it's all included in this. So there's 2 new booths from the restaurants, new restaurants on the property. Did I say that right? Lagoon Lanes and Games and Bourbon Steak by Chef Michael Mina. There's other things that you can do. There's like a signature tasting experience that's an upcharge, and that's for celebrity chefs Todd English and Michael Mina. That happened on Friday and Saturday, respectively. Tickets, they went up a little bit this year. It was like $185. I think it's $224 this year, but it's all new menu, all new foods. Incredible stuff, delicious. They had a couple of things that we tasted. I will say hands down, slow braised Wagyu beef short rib. I mean, it's so tender. It was like you cut it with a fork. I've never had meat that was that delicious. It was so good. And then there's this thing. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. I think it was like, it sounds like a joke name of like some Mediterranean sandwich called a sabich. But anyway, it was fried eggplant and just the flavors of it were delicious. So that was good. Stir fry rice with shrimp was super good. I'm not an oyster guy. They had oyster sliders. They were good, but they weren't really just for me. But man, there was this pan fried shrimp and pork dumpling. It was so good. But I'm going to tell you, like, it had so many different things. Like, this guy had like 15 little round dishes in front of him that he had to like dress the pork dumpling with because it was in this chili sauce. It was so delicious. Anyway, he's got his little tweezers out and he's picking up like one yellow flower and puts it in. And he goes through like the 20 of them that he has laid out. And then he goes to the next thing and picks up like a little piece of herb and puts it on each one of them. I was like, dude, you're not even halfway through that. I was like, I'll come back. And every time I went back, he's still doing this thing. Eventually, I got to it. It was so delicious. But sort of the highlight, dessert-wise, they had really pretty desserts. And we got pictures of them up on Watermark's Facebook page. They were really cute. And I'm sure there's a video on TikTok about our experience there. But sweet corn ice cream cone. And this had hot honey syrup, crushed cheddar cheese, and caramel popcorn in it. It was insanely delicious. And then the guy who made the dessert, who was like dishing it up, found out he's on a cooking show, holiday baking challenge that's coming up on the Food Network in November. So we're gonna do a story on him.
Oh, very nice.
So that was all super cool.
When did you go?
We went Friday to this.
Oh, so I don't see nothing on TikTok.
Okay. No, she said it was going to go up on Friday before the end of the day. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's on something else. I'll find out. Maybe
I guess
Caitlin will message her right now and just say
Orlando Weekly.
Oh my God! Speaking of, check Orlando Shine. Guess who we ran into? Do you know where Orlando Shine is?
Yes, isn't that Brandon?
Yeah. So Patrick was there taking photos for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it was cool to see him.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, I have when he worked for Watermark, he used to do little sketches, and I was, we all know this, I was a lesbian in the 90s, so I was a huge fan of Xena, and he had done a sketch of Xena Warrior Princess, and he signed it, and it still hangs on my wall.
So you were a lesbian in the 90s until your sitcom got canceled, and then you...
Yeah, and then I became a gay man. Yeah.
Tracks. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So the only other thing, I don't know if you want to say this, we had talked an episode or two ago about people being interviewed for the show Paradise, and that you were like, oh, they gave away the ending, and you said that was really weird.
Oh, yeah.
I have finished Paradise, so I want to know what it was that they gave away.
Oh, what was it? He was talking about and I forget her name, but the main female character of the show, that she dies?
No, she doesn't die. She gets shot.
Oh, he had mentioned about, he did, because the guy said, with everything that happened to her, will she be back next season? And the guy he was interviewing, Sterling Kane Brown, he said, well, something about dying, or maybe the something about someone died, and that that they're coming back next season, but he doesn't know in what capacity. Like, it was if it's flashbacks or not. But I thought he said her, but he was talking about a couple of different characters. But somebody dies in the last season that may not be back.
It was shocking when she got shot. I mean, she's the evil villain of the whole thing. But I think like another one's emerging. So the thing is, it's like, it's a great show, by the way. But they're going into this. So there's this catastrophic event is going to happen, which is like apparently the super volcano in Antarctica is going to blow up, but it's going to creates this 300-foot tsunami that's going to wipe countries out. It's going to make resources scarce. So they built this city inside of a mountain in Colorado that they could pick certain people to go move into, not because of the tsunami, but because resources in the world were going to be scarce. So what they figured would happen is once the tsunami started wiping countries out, that the major countries that have nuclear weapons were going to launch the nuclear weapons to destroy other countries, so
which
that
makes sense.
They would be the sole country living that needed the resources, right? So that's the whole premise. So they just assumed everyone was going to die of this nuclear fallout, so they were in this thing. Now this crazy woman who she hired some mercenary people to pose as everyday people, so that when they got into this little city, if she needed to off people, she could call one of these assassins and say like, hey, go kill this person, and that they would. So she had this girl that killed the number one assassin, and then they were having some conversation about something, and like all this stuff's going down, and this girl that killed him, this dude, was like, so listen, I got used to having that Wii, and I was playing Wii tennis all the time, and I really want that because it belonged to the president who dies in the first episode. And she's like, so I haven't been able to play since he died, so can I have his Wii? And the bad lady goes, she's like, are you crazy? This is what you're concerned about? Are you crazy? And the girl goes, this conversation is over. And then the next time there was something going on, and she just walks in and shoots the woman, like, because she's like, now who's crazy? Like, you called me crazy because I want to play Wii, bam. But she shot her, and this is the line. So this is why I don't think she died, because she shot her, and she said he was going to kill you because this other guy who was like the good guy was going to kill her because she's bad. And he's like, she was going to kill you, and you're no use to me dead. So I just injured you, and you'll have a long recovery ahead of you. So that's why I don't think she died. But maybe she does. I don't know. So now we got a new villain, I guess. Anyway, great show. Great shows from the same people that did This Is Us, right? And so now you can watch it and not cry every episode. What was I watching? Was it SNL that made a reference?
I watched the first half of the first season, but then I stopped watching it.
Of This Is Us?
Yeah.
Is it because it made you cry every episode, or because you're like, why are people crying every episode? Because
it was very melodramatic, and I was like, oh, give me a fucking break. You're going to cry every 5 minutes? And then I turned it off. Oh. It was so obnoxious. Although the first episode, I liked the whole twist in it.
Really,
I thought that was cool.
Listen, if you want to watch a show and you want to cry a lot, watch that.
In fact, that twist, I think, is why it stayed on as long as it did, because it was not a great show.
It was a great
Sorry,
show.
not sorry.
Well, that's enough of that stupid conversation.
Although that one Justin Hartley, he's hot. He's pretty.
He's in a new show
He is
on
pretty.
CBS. So
I know my brother watches it, and so does my mom.
for the same reason. I'm just kidding.
You know what else
Anyway.
she watches? Matlock.
As do I. It's a good show.
I know.
Even
It is.
Kathy Bates alone. All right, so we did go to the movies. We
We did. The history of sound.
So you may have made notes during this. I did not because there were people around me, and so I didn't. So
Okay, here's the
I have
funny
3
thing.
general comments, and that's it.
Okay, so really quick about the note taking. So I had my phone out and I was typing, and about, 15 minutes into the movie, the gentleman next to me asked me to stop using my phone because he couldn't, it was distracting him with the lights.
Oh, that's
So
nice that he
I
said
had
something.
a notepad with me, so I was jotting notes in the dark. I'm surprised they're not overlapped. They're actually on individual lines, which I'm so proud of myself for. But it's very gibberish, so I hope I can read my own handwriting as we go through this movie. But like the first 10 minutes I have on my notes on my phone right here in front of me. But it is a period romance drama that just came out 2 weeks ago. Came out in theaters. It had been making the awards. The
Film festivals. Yeah.
Thank you. Why can I never remember that? The film festival circuit.
I don't know why they can't ever remember Greetings from Queertown.
I know, right? Wait a minute. Before we get into this, did I read? I thought I saw somewhere that it got picked up on a film festival.
It is. And it's currently, you can watch it now. So listen, if you want to watch Greetings from Queertown Orlando, which is about the LGBTQ history of Central Florida that Watermark produced, worked with Adrenaline Films to get out there. It is currently part of Out on Films, the film festival in Atlanta. It's part of their virtual thing. And so I think it's got a couple more days where you can go on there. It's like $12. I went and paid for it, even though I've seen it 100 times. So at least one person did, I know. But I feel like it's a great show. You should check it out. So, So we're doing this thing, right? We're gonna talk about the ratings first of it, and then we'll get into it.
Oh, sure.
So you want to do Rotten Tomatoes?
Okay. So I will say right off the bat, this is a very slow, drawn out, dare I say, boring movie, which is just the kind of movie that critics love, but audiences hate. So I'm going to say critics gave it like a 91 and audiences gave it like a 69. Hey, giggity.
You are reversed. It is a 69 from the critics and an 89 from audiences.
Really?
Yeah. So
that's
here's
surprising.
Here's what I'll say.
Critics didn't love it.
Yeah, it is a very slow burn.
Very slow.
It's all about folk music too. So, like, here's the thing: it is like a folk song. It is very slow and very long and very tragic.
Yes, I realized this while I was watching this movie because I had a lot of time to think. So, there's 2 types of movies. There is a movie moving towards something. So, like Armageddon, you are moving towards asteroid going to destroy Earth, or Godzilla. Godzilla is going to destroy New York.
You're picking like action-y kind of movies.
I know. Well, that's what came off the top of my head. But there's like movies that move towards a purpose. Lord of the Rings, getting the ring to the mountain to throw it in. Then there's movies that are just scenes that are just happening. They're not going anywhere. They're just happening. And that's what this movie is. It's just a bunch of scenes that are happening that aren't moving towards anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's very Brokeback Mountain-y to me as well.
And it
like,
makes
reminded me a lot
very dull. Oh, it does have a very Brokeback feel to it. Especially the tent scene. No, I'm just kidding.
We're probably going to disagree on this then, because I'm going to give this 4.5 grapes.
Oh, I'm going to give this 2.5.
As slow as it was, and it was slow, it never felt to me like time was moving backwards. Now, I will admit, I did take
it wasn't moving forward.
I may have taken a 5-minute nap in the first 10 minutes. But you listen, all that folksy music and the dark, cold theater, I like the folksy music. I'm a big fan.
Music.
I loved it.
Paul Mescal and Josh O'Connor both they're great actors. They do amazing. Particularly Paul Mescal, who is British, really landed that Appalachian Kentucky accent. I did not even at one moment think you're a British guy doing an accent. It felt very legitimate. I dug kind of the relationship between them. It moves so, the movie's over 2 hours, and there's a lot of very lingering scenes where they just focus on him staring out into the wilderness or meandering through a house. You don't need all of that. You could have easily cut 20 minutes off of this by cutting some of that shit down.
Yeah, I didn't even notice all of that. I mean, I noticed
because you were asleep.
No. I slept for the first like 5 minutes of it. The things that I did notice though are like, is it because this is like pre-television that everybody in the mountains sings? Like everybody sang.
Yeah. Also, what do you all do during the day and night? Your lives look so boring. What else? What else are you doing? I get that you're working the farms during the day and singing at night, but damn, your lives look so dull and boring.
Yeah, I don't know why it is, but both Dylan and I just loved it. Like, I mean, everything that we have to say about it.
I didn't think it was terrible, but it was. This was definitely a slog. This is a slow-moving film.
I think it's just like the tragedy of it all. Because I think like the whole thing of this is like, it's like Brokeback Mountain. Will they, won't they? Will they be together?
Yeah.
Won't they be together? You know, and it's, you know, and I thought that Josh O'Connor was very charming in the whole thing, you know, and then unfortunately he gets drafted to World War I, where he is just like gone. Like his, you know, he comes back and spends time, with Paul Mescal's character, with the entire intent he's gonna, like, you know, that his life is gonna be shortened because of the fact that he's shell shocked, and like, which I think you don't really pick up on until like they're together in that last part, and they separate, and you see his hands start to shake, and you're like, okay, this now.
Well, there's a scene in there where they're talking, and Lionel, who's Paul Mescal's character, says to Josh O'Connor's character David, that because he came back from the war, and he goes, you never talk about the war, and he kind of snaps at him, and he's like, well, there's nothing to talk about, and you know, why are you so inquisitive about this, blah 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 blah, and kind of snaps at him, and he gets very, very reserved and very quiet around him after that point. And in fact, he doesn't that night, because they've been sleeping in the tent every night together. He doesn't join him in the tent, and he goes for a walk in the morning. And he's just very kind of disconnected from when he asks him about the war.
Yeah.
So just kind of give the synopsis of it. It's the early 1900s. Paul Mescal is Lionel, this guy Lionel, who's from Kentucky, and he goes to college where David, who's played by Josh O'Connor, he goes and he hears David playing on the piano an old folksy song that they used to sing back in the mountains, the hills of Kentucky. And he approaches him and said, I've never heard anybody outside of my hometown who knew that song. So they're in this pub and they start singing together. You know, they're playing the piano and having a gay old time. And then they finish up at the bar, and he's like, why don't you come back to my place with me? He says, walk me home. So he walks him home, and he's like, why don't you come up for a glass of water? And he's like, oh, okay. So they go up, and then they share a glass of water because he only owns one cup. And then they're like looking at each other, and then he's like, all right, we know what we came here for. Let's go to the bedroom.
You know what he says is he's like, we have to share a cup because all my other dishes are dirty. And I'm like, well, so's the one you're drinking out of.
But he likes that kind of dirt.
His cup. You might as well drink out of one of the dirty ones. Anyway.
Don't yuck their muck. Let them do their little kinky thing before they head to the bedroom. Now, I will say, with the amount of gay sex in this movie, not once is there nudity. And that's a disappointment. I mean, you see like the top curve of Paul Mescal's ass, which is nice. It's very nice. But there's like when I go to one of these boring, dull, independent films, I want to see Wang. I want to see some peni. You know what I'm saying?
He's saying everybody Wang Chung tonight.
I expect to see you do full frontal. You want that Oscar? You earn it.
Jeez. Okay,
Anyway.
Weinstein.
Anyway, it's very tastefully done. So they get together and then they end up separating because Lionel has to go back to Kentucky to help with the family farm, and his dad dies there, and his mom is like total like, what do you mean you're not going to be here every second of every day of my life? Where are you going?
I mean, you think about the time. He's terrible to his mother.
I don't know. His mother didn't seem like a cool chick. I wouldn't want to hang out with her either.
That's true. She's kind of like, I'm
plus-
sick and I don't have much time. And he's like,
You can-
bye.
You can hang out with her who's coughing and yakking and being like, give me some more tobacco and sing for me, boy. Or you can go hang out with David, Mr. Josh O'Connor, and bone in a tent for 3 months. What are you going to do?
Why do we keep watching movies where people bone in tents?
I don't know. I think that's what we're supposed to do as gay men. I don't own a tent or a man. So
Nor do I have any. I mean, I enjoyed the whole showering beforehand.
I hear you. I mean, it's the early 1900s. They didn't have access to the kind of plumbing that we had. So,
Yeah. In order to get to the plumbing, you must use plumbing. That's my philosophy.
So he goes back. His dad dies. So he's attending to his dad. And then he gets a letter from David that says he's going on. The college that he works at has hired him to roam the Northeast to collect songs. So they've got this kind of little early recording contraption that carves into wax, sort of like the way vinyl works. It carves the sound into the wax, and then you can listen back to it. And he says, if you want to come kind of work with me, and we're just going to wander the Northeast and collect songs. So they do. So they, collect songs and have sex and
Big old hootenanny.
trying to read my notes here. No, none of that matters.
There was I can't remember what was said, but when they were going on this thing, that's this tour or whatever, or maybe it was after, I don't know, when the Lionel goes and people are like, oh my God, you're a big singer. What are you doing back here? And they're up and then they end up
that's
going,
way later in the movie. Yeah.
And then they're having dinner. She says something funny at the table, and everybody laughed out loud. And I remember that because that's the only moment the audience reacted to anything. Other than that, it was dead quiet. Except for can you believe 3 people came in 20 minutes late, sat in the back corner, and talked the whole time. I was like,
I don't know if it was this movie or this just how people see movies, but people were coming in late during the movie, and there was a group of 7 or 8 girls who came in, and they were chatting as they were coming down the aisle, and somebody yelled at, if you're going to show up late, show up silent. And I was like, whoa.
I do appreciate hearing stories about people saying something. Because these people were talking the whole time, and this guy sitting behind me, he was like a more effeminate version of one from Stranger Things, the TV series. And all you heard was he's like, could you all shut up, please? And then they did. And so I was like, good for you. Look, I stole your joke. Caitlin's laughing harder when I said it because she didn't hear you say it.
Well, Caitlin is a terrible person.
She didn't hear you. She heard that
Hold
one.
on. I wrote, they walk through the house. Maybe this is what you're talking about. Do you worry about what we're doing? No, I don't worry. Nope, that's not it. I can't read this shit.
That's basically where Josh O'Connor was or whatever David, is that his name? David was saying, do you worry about what we're doing? And Lionel was like, hell no, let's do this forever. What could be better? We're doing it in the tent.
Oh yeah, his mom gets sick, so he has to go back home. Oh, that they go on their little trip. And
that's what he runs into them.
He's like, my mom's sick. I got a letter. My mom's sick. I got to go back home. Oh no, wait, that's when he's with the girl. So they finish up their little trip, and Lionel's like, can I see you this summer? And David's like, yeah, sure. And he goes, no, really? Because he is very dismissive. And he smiles and he goes, sure, yes, we can see each other this summer. So Lionel starts writing him, and David won't write him back. And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, oh, you're going to be a dick, David. You're David the dick. And so he doesn't write him back. And so he moves on with his life. And at first he moves to Rome and he starts banging this little twink who plays the cello. And then he moves to London and he goes to Oxford and then starts banging this chick who has bohemian parents, but they're also rich. So they go and see her parents and he's living his best life, trying to forget about David, but constantly, always just David's in the back of his mind. He's like, why won't you write me back? He's just constantly writing letters and won't get a response.
Yeah, and then he gets a notification that his mom has died.
Yes.
And so he's like, so I'm going to go home and deal with that. But I think he's made the decision then that he's going to go home and wrap that up, and then he's going to go find David. I feel like that's the decision he made.
Yeah, because
then
the girl that he's dating, she's like, because he's like, I'm going to go see my mother, and she's like, well, I'll come with you because you're going to come back. And he goes, I'm not coming back.
Goes, no.
And
she's like,
oh, honey.
And she's like, are you coming back? And he's like,
oh,
no.
honey,
And she's
no,
like,
honey.
Why?
No.
Like,
shh,
rude.
Finger to the mouth. Shh, shh. No,
like,
honey, no. Shh.
No.
Shh. Shh. You don't have a penis. Shh. No more. I'm done with you. Bye.
He did not handle that situation very well.
No. Also, throughout the whole movie, while I love his character, I love Paul Mescal, Lionel through the whole movie seems like detached. Like he could easily cut off from everyone except for David.
Yeah.
Like, even like you said with his mother, even though his mother's kind of a bitch, he can easily say, sorry, Mom. Nope, I know you gave birth to me and you're dying, but I got better things to do.
I don't know that she's a bitch. She's just like, a mom in the 1900s, the early 1900s. Like, you have kids. They tend to the farm. They take care of you when you're old. They inherit the farm. They have kids. Their kids take care of them. That's just the way it is. And he's all like, peace out, y'all. I got better things to do.
But she's always like, sit down, faggot, and sing for me. And he's like, Mom, I don't want it. And she's like, do it, homo. I mean, she didn't say those words, but I could see it in her eyes. That's what she meant.
No, she never said those words.
In her eyes, she said, queer boy.
You wouldn't recognize her, but she has been in very many cop dramas as a cop. The woman that played the mother.
That's Molly Price. I know who she is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the only reason I know is because I have the cast list in front of me. Her name is Molly Price.
She's been in like every cop show ever. And she was like, she plays a detective, I think, sometimes on Matlock. The new version.
Matlock! All jokes
circle.
aside, she's a lovely woman. She's a dying mother, and she just wants her son to be there. Her husband died, and she's like, who will take care of the farm and take care of me? And he's like, Grandpa's down the road. And she's like, he's 147.
We could talk about him in 7 more podcasts. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yes.
there's a big twist at the end that I don't want to go into because it's still a new movie. But we do time jumps here, and there's a big time jump to 1980, and he's an old man played by Chris Cooper, who's an Oscar-winning actor. If you don't know who he is, look him up. He's fantastic in everything he does.
What's that show he was in? American Beauty? He was in that?
Yeah, he was in American Beauty. He was in August Osage County, the movie with Meryl Streep and Julia Roberts. I love that movie. When she's like, I'm in charge now. I love that. But there's a big twist ending as to why David wasn't getting back to Lionel. And Lionel has to process through that. And he ends up writing a book. And then in his old age, he ends up hearing a message as to that kind of brings everything back to what happened.
I'm sorry, I keep laughing because I had like pages of notes, and I feel like maybe I was just done with the podcast and threw them away, but I can't find them.
That's okay. So yeah. The movie is very slow. It's definitely, I think it's something that works better watching at home. I'm not sure if dropping, and no disrespect to the Angelica, but I'm not sure dropping $24 for a fucking movie ticket is worth it for this movie, but it's definitely worth the movie prescription or subscription that you would pay for the month. When it's on Mubi.
Wholeheartedly disagree. I think that it is
shocking.
I think that it is a fantastic movie. I feel like if you liked it,
if you feel that way,
Brokeback Mountain.
Here is my receipt for my movie ticket.
It is
I
as
am
good.
poor.
And it was worth it. I'm so busy at work, it pained me to have to like leave in the middle of the day to go see a movie. And I had to eat lunch out there. And
Leaving work? I don't know what that's like.
Look, I got to you'll find out soon enough.
Chris, all the time, he comes home, he goes, oh, God, I worked a 16-hour shift. I was like, sounds like it sucked.
You're like, I binged Netflix for 16 hours.
Okay, I'm not going to show you on my phone, but I showed Chris and I showed Alex when they're here, and they told me that I really should kind of structure what I do during the day. But Google Pixel, I'm sure all the phones do this, it keep track of how long you use an app per day. And there are days where TikTok has 8 and 9 hours logged on my phone that I just sit on TikTok for 8 and 9 hours a day.
Oh, couldn't.
Anyway, the movie was good. It's not great, but it's good.
See, I feel like it's as good as Brokeback Mountain.
No, not as good as Brokeback Mountain. Brokeback Mountain was so much better than this. But maybe it's because they showed me nudity.
Yeah, you're not a complicated fella. There was actually,
I
may have actually said to Dylan after the movie, Jeremy's not going to like this that much because they didn't show any penis. I may have said that.
Just show me your penis.
Did you notice that guy, Josh O'Connor? I mean, I don't know if the previews before the movie when we watched it, like it seems like he's in every movie that's coming out. One thing I like about seeing queer movies in cinemas is it shows you trailers for all the other upcoming queer movies coming out. And there's a movie from Richard Linklater about I don't remember his first name, but his last name is Hart. And he's the guy who used to make musicals with Rogers before he made musicals with Hammerstein. Right?
Looks so good.
That looks really
Ethan Hawke. That's Ethan Hawke with the bald head and the alcoholism. And I mean, just amazing.
I'm halfway there.
Yeah. You're all the way there. No, I'm just kidding.
I have plenty of hair.
Oh, not to eye.
Oh,
between
together,
between you and me, we're the whole guy from Ethan Hawke. But it looks really good. And then there was another one, from Josh O'Connor, a good movie. And that, did you see the trailer to Pillion?
Probably.
With Alexander Skarsgård, and then the kid who played Dudley, Harry Potter's half stepbrother or half brother in Harry Potter. He got thin, and he's got long hair. And it's a movie about how they start dating, and Alexander Skarsgård gets him into like weird, crazy BDSM shit. But it's a comedy. Comes out, I think, this month. We should totally see it.
I don't think that I did see that. Maybe. Let me see.
Looks so funny. Looks so good. Alexander Skarsgård is hot. Also, just because it reminded me because they were in a show together. But shout out to Nicole Kidman. And she's in my thoughts and prayers because her and Keith Urban are getting divorced after 20 years. That's sad.
Yeah. I saw that.
And not only that, but on the opposite, Faith Hill and Tim McGraw today celebrate their 29th wedding anniversary. So congratulations to you.
Oh, he does look really different.
Yeah.
Guy from
lost
Harry
some weight,
Potter.
grew his hair out.
Yeah.
And you should watch
trailer.
When we're done, watch that trailer. It looks hilarious. But I love Alexander Skarsgård. Ever since I saw him on True Blood, love him.
So we'll check that out. I think next week we're doing Kiss of the Spider Woman.
Yeah, I think that comes out this weekend.
Comes out on Friday.
Jennifer Lopez was on the Today Show today, and they were showing clips of it. Looks really good. So
I'm excited about that. There is another movie that looks really good that is out in New York now. It's just not here, and I looked it up, and it's called Plain Clothes. Have you seen this?
Have you heard of this? Have you seen this? No, I haven't. No.
You're gonna want to watch the trailer for Plain Clothes. You're gonna
Plain Clothes. Let me jot that down.
You're gonna want to watch it.
Plain Clothes trailer.
If if it plays here in Orlando anytime, then we'll cover it. I know Kiss of the Spider Woman is playing here over the weekend, so we'll check that out. We'll talk about that next time. Then maybe the next week, if Plainclothes is available, we'll check that out too, because that looks like a really good one.
Cool. Also, watch Pillion, the trailer to Pillion, because I think we should watch that one, and it's super gay. But until then, the cork is back in the bottle.